EcoFlow River 2. This is late breaking news. This is for those of you that have been wanting to buy an EcoFlow and you want to get the biggest value and you want to get the best price. This is the ultimate power solution. When the power goes out, how do you plug in your phone? How do you plug in your lights? How do you plug in your refrigerator, a microwave, maybe even a fan or an air conditioner? Maybe you just want to put the kettle on or blow dry your hair. It doesn't matter. We've got to live. We need electricity. This is your emergency power source. Whether you're at home, you're on the go, or you want off-the-grid power for all of your outdoor adventures, take EcoFlow with you. Here's the most amazing thing about today is that we are down to our final quantities. This is an incredible bundle that's an HSN exclusive from the #1 brand in portable power. The #1 brand in portable power is EcoFlow. And when you can get all of this that you see here for under $420, I do not want you to miss out. What are you getting? You're getting the River 2 Pro. This alone is the most powerful portable power source from EcoFlow that's under 20 pounds. This is the most powerful in the River Power Station series. But you're not only getting that, you're also getting the solar panels. Anywhere else, you'd have to buy these separately. We include them. So now you can also recharge your EcoFlow with the power of the sun. What else are you getting? Well, you're getting all the charging cables that you can charge into the wall. You can recharge it in the car. And you can also carry it in this really cool travel backpack, which alone is a $70 value. It all adds up to nearly $1,000 at retail. You could get this right now. If to buy all of these separately, you'd spend nearly $1,000, $979.99 to be exact. But here for one of our final presentations, last chance for this bundle because it's not coming back, you're getting all of this for about $419.99. That's over 50% off. That's 58% off. We have FlexPay. We have 5 FlexPay on everything. That's everything that's on air, that's online. So you can get this home for about $84 a month. It's been our #1 brand here for 6 years. And we also have our #1 host, our ambassador for EcoFlow and all things electronic, Justin Hyatt. He does everything from flashlights to portable power stations. He knows how to keep us safe and how to keep us in contact when the lights go out. The power stays on with EcoFlow.
You know, I added one more hat to my name.
What's that?
I'm now an amateur paleontologist.
Oh.
I found a woolly mammoth bone today.
Are you kidding
just
me?
Just walking down the creek. Yeah, just walking down. I looked down, I was like, that, jumped down there, sure enough. So tomorrow I'm getting a hold of some paleontologists, see if it was real.
Really?
So how do we segue this? You never know what's gonna happen, okay? Truly don't. You know, every once in a while, something revolutionary happens, especially in the world of technology. We saw what happens with the iPhone. You know, when the iPhone came out, it just changed the way that we communicated, it changed the way that we entertained, it changed the way that we worked. Every single thing about life changed. And the same thing goes for EcoFlow. EcoFlow has revolutionized the way that we think of backup power. Now we understand that it's not a one-size-fits-all for power. We get it. That's one of the beauties about having EcoFlow as a brand here at HSN. In fact, we launched EcoFlow here 6 years ago. We have one of the best relationships, if not the best relationship with EcoFlow. They have quickly become the #1 power brand here at HSN, as Sarah said, but also the #1 power station brand in the United States. So yes, we did start off with a River, but now we've got power stations that can power your whole entire house. We've got power stations like this, which is part of our River line, which is our River 2, one of our latest and greatest. This isn't more of our affordable and portable, but the River 2, this is our River 2 Pro. It is the most powerful, again, as Sarah said, under 20 pounds. Powerful, portable, and that's what we love about this one. This is gonna still be able to power 80% of your home appliances.
I'm not gonna believe you till I see it.
Yes,
because it almost looks too good to be true. This is not one of those big bulky generators. This is not something that takes a lot of gas or fuel or spits out fumes or you have to keep it outside. This is something that you can literally keep under your bed, in your closet, in your cabinet. Take it with you in your car, in your RV. Why? Because we have really experienced recently an unprecedented need, an overwhelming demand for alternative power sources. This is where EcoFlow comes in handy. Many of you have been experiencing these winter storms. There's polar vortex. You've lost power from winter storms. Many of you experienced power outages from wildfires that are nearby. They turn off the power for maybe your entire county or maybe your entire state. There have been those of you that have been evacuating from hurricanes, those of you that have experienced floods that have been devastated. Right now, the entire country, no matter where you live, you have a need for alternative power sources. This is the solution. This is the most powerful you can find for under $20, and right now it's 58% off. It's compact, it's lightweight, there's no maintenance, it's completely silent, and it's easy to use and it's easy to bring with you. It doesn't matter if you're 4'10" or 6 feet tall, whether you're 100 pounds or 300 pounds or anywhere in between, because you can take this with you. Let's plug it in. Let's see what it can do. It also comes with a 5-year warranty, but this is late breaking news. We've been able to add the final quantities of this incredible configuration, which is the lowest price we've offered on the River 2. This is the lowest price, and you're getting the solar panel and that really cool travel backpack and everything you need right out of the gate. The good thing to know, Justin, these are in stock.
Yeah.
These are ready to ship. And a lot of other retailers that also offer EcoFlow, well, let me tell you, it's really hard to keep them in stock. They're really hard to find.
Well, so two things to that, right? Again, back to what we said, it is a reason why you come here to HSN to shop for EcoFlow. We have one of the best relationships with them. They allot a certain amount of quantity specifically for us. Also, not only that, all of these are exclusive bundles. You're not going to be able to find the River 2 Pro with the solar panel and that backpack. We just kind of add the portability aspect even more by including that backpack. Everything that you were just saying, though, Sarah, about lightweight, portable, easy to use, these are not things that we typically apply to what when we think of alternative energy, gas and propane generators. Did you see what I just did? One touch of a button. If you're watching us right now and the power goes out, how could you have the entertainment continue to go on? I'd have to go outside. I'd have to get my gas generator. I'd have to make sure that it's maintained. When the power goes out and that thunder hits and all of a sudden that pit in your stomach, it's not a good feeling. There's what we call anxiety. Some of us know it all too well, right? How nice would it be to have something like this when we say peace of mind, something that you can use. In 2 seconds, what did I do? I plugged in my light and I plugged in my fan. Now I can also plug in my router. Just because you lose power doesn't mean that you're losing internet. So we can go ahead and get power directly to that router, and now we can continue to power up the internet so we can plug in the TV and stay entertained, whether it's our phone or our television. The other thing that you were just seeing right here is our LCD display. Again, now let's directly compare back to our gas or propane generator. You're not going to see one of these on those. This is going to tell you exactly how much time. That's going to be, what, 13, 14 hours for a light and our fan right now. Plus, it's also going to show your percentage, and it's also going to show you the amount of wattage that we're using. What are we doing right now? As Sarah was saying, well, show us, right? Well, it's the show me state when it comes to EcoFlow. We get to actually show you and demo inside. That gas generator, we'd have to only be outside. And I was saying this the last presentation, which is we used to present gas generators. We have not since we launched EcoFlow. Why? Because it's simply a better alternative with EcoFlow. And we recognize that for the world of everybody, what fits for everybody, EcoFlow does, as opposed to that generator. Because now if I live in an apartment or I live in a condo, I can use this. Okay, but it's not just the small stuff. And not to say that a light and a fan is small, but especially with their EcoFlows, this isn't a power bank. We want to make sure that we've got the necessary power for the essential things, like not being in a dark home or being in a hot home. Now, full-size refrigerator, all I've got to do, can you imagine, full-size refrigerator filled to the brim, and as we know, it's expensive. Maybe it's $300, $400 worth of food. We got a full family to feed. And that storm's coming, we get prepared. It could be medicine that's inside of here. We don't want it to spoil. Now we don't need to worry about that because now we got our light, we got our fan, and our full-size refrigerator. I still have not unplugged anything. Now what I'm going to do? Again, not unplugging. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to plug in my induction burner. Yesterday we had a big Curtis Stone. Today's special with the salmon, which looked absolutely delicious. I don't know why they don't feed us anymore. I have to talk to the higher ups because it's just not fair. But now imagine this, full induction burner, full-size refrigerator. I'm just gonna turn this on. Now I'm cooking my food, keeping my food cool and my medicine, and I'm keeping myself cool with a fan, and I'm not in a dark home with a light. All of these things I get to do now inside my home. And the other aspect of this too is, it's nice to know that I've got this as an insurance policy. I've got it for the emergency. But 99% of the time, you know what I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna be doing it for all the fun stuff. Talking about tailgating. Yes, we're all freezing right now, but when we're not, and now we get to enjoy being outside again, we're gonna take this with us because again, 17.2 pounds with that backpack, Sarah. Now travel with it and enjoy bringing power with you, and that's why we emphasize the power your life, but power your life not only inside your home, but outside your home as well.
And you want that peace of mind, right? I mean, if I asked you right now, what's your solution when the power goes out? You'd be like, candles? Maybe I'll just go to my mom's house. You know, these are sometimes not always the most practical or the most reliable solutions. Every household should have a backup plan. Every household should have a little insurance policy. And maybe it's for making sure that you can still communicate. Communicating with the outside world is one of the most important things that we need when the power goes out. First thing that happens, well, you're probably gonna lose power on your phone because you can't charge your phone. You can't talk to your phone. You can't text or type or keep track of the weather or the news or anyone important in your life if you don't have power to your cell phone. Whether it does something as small as power your cell phone or as important as keep your refrigerator running so you don't lose $400 worth of groceries, this incredible collection from EcoFlow is going to be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And this is why it's so important that you consider this bundle. It's our most powerful under 20 pounds. It's our most powerful in the River 2 collection. It's also one of the few that we actually include with the solar panel. Usually you have to buy this separately, and there's several hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We're including the solar panel so you can go completely off the grid. You can recharge your EcoFlow with the power of the sun. Now you can also plug it in. You can also charge it by a generator. You can also charge it just by using your car charger. You have options. There's several ways to make sure that you can recharge your EcoFlow, but once it's charged, you have power. And you have it for up to 10 appliances. That's the amount of plugs. The most powerful that we offer, you're also getting the incredible travel backpack. Right now, we are giving you our final presentation with 5 flexible payments. That's just $84 a month. With this incredible price, that's 58% off. And we're doing it on free shipping. So if I asked you right now, does $560 seem like a lot of money? What would you spend $560 on? I could think of quite a few things I could spend $560 on. Why am I mentioning that price? Because that's how much you're saving. That's how much you're saving today. You're now saving more than you're spending. So here's what I did. I did a little shopping around. No one else has this EcoFlow at this price. And if they do have a price that's even close, they're not including the solar panel, all the cables, and the travel backpack. So we're giving you everything you need, a nearly $1,000 value, and you can get it home for $84. So the question is, if now, when, right? And when you decide to rush out because the hurricane is coming, or the forest fires are thriving near you, or the blizzard, it's on its way, when you go out and decide you're gonna buy a generator, guess what? The prices go up on those items, right, Justin?
No, I mean,
the price goes up, and so does the demand, and then you can't find one. You cannot find a generator here in Florida when there is a hurricane barreling toward the state.
Yeah, it's actually a perfect segue to exactly what I was going to say, which is not very often, if ever, are you going to go into a store, a retail space, when there's a storm coming, high demand, and they'll say, by the way, that's 60% off. Not going to happen. And oh, by the way, we'll even give you some gas on the way out. Not going to happen, right? This is something when you're thinking about alternatives and options. This is what EcoFlow is all about. Not saying that you shouldn't, if you can, own a gas or propane generator. But when I look at this, I see a 1985 Chevy pickup compared to now, when instead of having this, it weighs, by the way, well over 100 pounds. I've got to wheel this every time. Why would I have this when I can have this? This is our new version, our Ferrari, our Tesla version of our new power stations, whereas our gas is limited. In fact, not even is gas limited, the gas cans are limited. And when you go to the gas station, guess what everybody else is doing? Going to the gas station. And they're all waiting 3 hours in line. This isn't for everybody. This is not for everybody. In fact, the pull crank can be hard. In fact, my pull crank doesn't even work on my generator anymore. There are things that we can't control. There are things that we can. Being prepared is one of those things that you can be prepared for. And here's the thing. When do you do it? You do it now. And why now? Because we don't know what tomorrow brings. We do know that it's the ifs and the whens. And it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. But then I also say, when's the power going to come back? We don't know. You know what's nice about this? Not only giving you that generator, but we're also giving you the gas. That's what's nice about picking up the bundle, is that with that solar panel, now you have the fuel. Now you have the ability to be independent, to be self-sustaining. So you can be off the grid, or you can be at home and feel like you're off the grid. And for everybody who's got snow surrounding them right now, you know what snow is great for? Reflecting light. So you'll be able to actually use that snow to your advantage, and that solar panel is waterproof, so you don't have to worry about damaging your solar panel. You can use the reflection of the snow right here to recharge your power station. You can recharge your power station with 220 watts of total power in 3.5 hours. And Sarah just mentioned it. All the different ways to recharge it certainly can use your gas generator, and when you do, you can preserve your gas. You're not running your generator all the time now. You can preserve your gas to recharge your power station. All these different ways that you have options.
And guess how many gas stations I had to drive to find gas during a hurricane evacuation. Imagine millions of people all filling up their gas tanks at the same time, trying to get out of the pathway of the hurricane. So if you have a generator, that's great. Keep your generator. This is EcoFlow, so this is your portable generator. This is the one that you can take inside. If you have a full-size generator, you know for safety reasons you have to leave it outside. This is for those of you that live in an apartment. This is for those of you that live in a condo. I know my condo board is not going to be very happy if I put a generator on my patio. Probably would be a little bit frowned upon. This is that portable generator I can have in my condo. In fact, I have several friends in my building who said, you know what? Sarah, I've actually seen you present that EcoFlow. I think I'm getting one because we all are faced with power outages. It could be because of the weather. It could be because of other things that are happening around you. It could be a blackout, it could be a brownout, it could be the rolling power outages just due to the risk of forest fires. I know a lot of you lost power here during one of the hurricanes, and some of you only lost power for a few hours. Some of you lost power for weeks. Can you imagine not having power for weeks due to a hurricane, a flood, a forest fire, a downed tree, or a power outage? This is what you need in case of those significant times. You need a backup plan. This is it. We're including the solar panel. We're including the carrying case. So whether you're using this as your emergency plan or whether you use this as just another power source, take this out to the back patio, take this camping, put this in the RV, take this to your winter cabin or your ski condo, or give it to somebody who you know should never be without power. They can plug in an emergency blanket. They can plug in their cell phone. They can plug in their television, and through just a simple satellite, still be in touch with all the most important communications that you need to get through a challenging time. And then also have fun. Go camping. Take this out there on the deck. Start a party, plug in your music, or put up your lights, celebrate, have those fun, exciting outdoor adventures with family and friends. But right now we have the final quantities of really our most incredible price that we have ever offered on this River 2 Pro. There has never been a more powerful unit under 20 pounds. If you're looking for something that you can carry, your mom can carry, your dad can carry, you can get this right now, and you can have that peace of mind, that security blanket, that you have a backup plan. Right now we're including the solar panel and the travel case. It's a $1,000 retail value that you're getting for under $420. You're saving now more than you're spending. So at this price, Justin, they could actually buy two.
Yep.
They could buy two for less than the price of one, and you would get 2 EcoFlows, 2 solar panels, 2 travel backpacks. So if you do need to take it with you, and I know even if you are evacuating, you're thinking, well, I don't need to worry about a power outage. I'm evacuating. Guess what happens when you get to maybe that evacuation center, that school, that church, how many plugs are there, right? Or even if you go to grandma's house, there's only so many outlets. You can plug in all your most important devices no matter where you are, but it's really important that you do this today. We rarely have this in stock at this price, and the fact is we're down to our final quantities. Justin has told me this particular configuration is not coming back. Will we have more EcoFlows? Absolutely. It's our #1 best-selling portable power source brand here at HSN, and you'll find them out there at retail. But I think everyone now is aware more than ever, Justin, that this is, no matter where we live, something that every household should have.
Without a doubt. And I want you to think about how we just adapt to where we live. You know, it doesn't matter where you are in the country. And we obviously, it's at the top of mind for all of us, right? We see the weather. We see what's happening in California. We see what's happening just recently down here in the Southeast, having once in a generation just freeze down here from Texas all the way to here in Florida, snowing 10 inches in Pensacola. It feels very unrealistic to think about 10 inches of snow on the beach with palm trees. There's things that happen. There's things that happen that we adapt to. Living here in Florida, we know, guaranteed, we're gonna have at least one hurricane every hurricane season. It's just how we live. We adapt to it. Same thing with living in a cold environment, whether you're in Minneapolis or anywhere else where it's cold. You adapt to being able to stay warm. We adapt down here to stay cool. But we also all have to adapt to knowing that at some point in time, we might be out of power in the worst possible time. I always say it's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law knows that when your phone's at 10% and you're about to lose power, that's when the power goes out. We can't control those types of situations, but we can control being ready and prepared. I do want to just go over the display really quickly. I've got my portable air conditioning plugged in. By the way, that is an EcoFlow portable air conditioning. It just goes to show you the variety of what we do as a brand. We don't just do power stations. We do an unbelievable job of offering every type of different solutions for you. I just want to show you that we do also have an EcoFlow air conditioning unit. Now, here's the thing. I've got that plugged in. It's telling me right now, and I've just got it set to fan. It's set to about 68 degrees, 15 hours. 15 hours is what that's telling me. So what it's doing essentially is it's taking the amount of power, it's taking the amount of wattage, and it's doing its own math internally and then giving us an idea of what time we've got. So that's not 15 minutes, that's 15 hours. Now these other zeros right here, it's actually very interesting. When we plug it in, it's gonna tell us the wattage in. It's also gonna tell us exactly how quickly we can recharge, and that's the other thing. When I plug this into the wall, 0 to 100% in 70 minutes. You can run this for 15 hours, and it takes just a little over an hour to recharge the unit itself. That's why when we're even comparing even to our power or to our generators, conserve your gasoline, right? When everybody's going to the stores to get those generators, you're gonna have to fight everybody else the same thing with gas. Okay, so we're doing all this, but I want you to also consider what we're doing. We're in the bedroom. Now, in our bedroom, we're thinking, well, I would never have a generator. Of course not. If you're trying to sleep, a generator is what? Very loud. This is 30 decibels. It's extremely loud. I could tell you even just talking to my neighbors, they were like, Justin, we haven't slept. You know, obviously they've had their generator, but they were like, we cannot sleep in the middle of the night, cannot stand it. I ended up giving them a bunch of power stations, said, use your generator, charge this up, turn your generator off, let this power up everything throughout the night. But we're using this inside. What does that mean? You're in the comfort of your home. You're out of the elements. I get to just do one touch of a button to turn this on, and that's it. As far as maintaining this, it's just keeping it charged, making sure that you're using it consistently, which you will be. Here's the other thing. It's also for the medical devices. I've got a CPAP machine, and I'm not even going to unplug the little AC that I've got right here. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the CPAP machine. You know, the CPAP machine is one of those things that, again, we invest in. Why? Because we need it. It's a medical device. In order to sleep, we think, well, I don't only want the noise, but I want to be able to breathe throughout the night. We invest in our CPAP machine. That's a $700 CPAP machine. They're not cheap. We understand why, though, because we need it. Well, how does that just completely just turn to a zero value when you lose power? Don't be out of power. Do not feel as though there's nobody there to help you. That's why we say when we power your life, whether you have somebody you can fall back on, we love the reliability and also the reputation of EcoFlow. Over the past 6 years, when you read the reviews, even on hsn.com, read those reviews, we have unbelievable just pouring out of positive reviews. That's what builds our reputation. That's what makes you #1, not just here at HSN, but #1 in the United States for power stations. Keeping yourself warm with a heating blanket. Look, I understand most of you say, well, I want to plug in my space heater. Space heaters are very inefficient to power, whether it's your gas or propane generator or even your power station. I recommend getting a heating blanket if you've not already got one of our warm and cozy heating blankets, which I'm sure most of you probably already have. Use that heating blanket, plug it into your power station. It is going to stretch out the power because it runs at roughly about 130 watts. It'll keep you warm for hours and hours and hours. So whether it's keeping yourself cool, keeping yourself warm, or using your CPAP machine. And one more thing, Sarah, really quickly, I do want to mention just the longevity of it. Because this isn't something that we just invest in. We think, well, I have it for a couple of years. When you're getting the latest and greatest, what you're getting is you're getting the best and newest battery cells inside of your power station. So we would say you would typically get 300 different life cycles, 300 life cycles. So that means when you charge your phone every night, that's one life cycle. It would take you 10 years, 10 years. Okay, if you recharge this once a day, depleted, recharge it once a day, it'd take you 10 years before this only recharged from 0 to 80%, which is why, Sarah, when you mentioned why we have a 5-year warranty, we used to have 2-year warranty, we have a 5-year warranty, that's half of the life, and still, it'll charge all the way up to 0 to 80% after 10 years, again, if you did it every single day for the next 10 years. So something that's gonna last you a long time.
Won't use it every day.
I would think not.
So it might be the last EcoFlow you really ever need.
Possibly.
It depends. But I hope you use it for fun too. I hope you don't save it just for those emergency occasions, because there are times we want to take the party outside, right? Or maybe you want to have something in the car. If you travel a lot by car and you travel through inclement weather, I've seen some of those incredible large traffic jams due to the weather, and it's snowy roads and people are driving off the roads and then they're waiting. They're stuck in their vehicles literally for hours, waiting for rescue, waiting for emergency vehicles to clear the road, and they can drive out of that snowy situation or that rural place or the mountain road. If you have an EcoFlow that's charged up in your car, in your trunk, you could plug in an emergency blanket and you could stay warm. You could plug in your cell phone and make sure that you stay connected. This has actually happened where people were stuck for hours and hours on a highway in Philadelphia. This is so you, no matter where you are, can always have the warmth, the communication, or the food, or the cool air, whatever it is that you need to survive. This is like your life's tools right here in one simple box. Plus you're getting the solar panel. Now usually we sell these separately and they go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We're giving you the travel case as well. This is a really nice backpack, by the way. Come in close. This is, I mean, a $70 value just on its own. It's beautifully made. There's padded straps. It's got all this really cool material. There's all these different compartments for cables and anything else you want to bring with you. So let's say you had to take this with you. It opens up nice and wide so you can actually put the whole EcoFlow down inside. It's got a nice flat bottom, so it keeps that EcoFlow sitting up nice and tall. So this is an impressive value. You get everything you see here, and you're saving more than you're spending. You're saving $560, which is a lot more than what you're spending. So you could actually get two now. Maybe you're thinking, ooh, I need one at the cabin, the cottage. Maybe you have a little summer vacation home, loses power frequently. Maybe it's by a lake, maybe it's by the beach, maybe it's in the mountains. Maybe the power source is unreliable because of where you are, because of the fragile environment. I lived in the middle of New York City and we had a blackout. And it lasted for days. Really think about it. What were my options back then? We didn't have EcoFlow when I lived in New York City, but now you can have something like this and you can fit it in a small apartment. You can fit it in a condo. You can go ahead and bring this indoors. It's not a generator that you have to leave outside feet and feet away from the house. It's something that you need to put in gas or propane. You don't need to worry about the fumes. You don't need to worry about some of those health hazards. This is something you have with you, and you can always have the lights on. You can always have a power for your cell phone. You can always plug in the TV. This is something that if you have a chance to consider today, today's the last day we have 5 Flex Pay on everything. And 5 Flex Pay are really interest-free monthly payments. So you've got the next 5 months to pay this off. So imagine this, $84 on any major credit card of choice. We ship this to you right away. This is in stock. This is ready to ship. You will not go another day, another month, another year without wondering or worrying what your backup plan is. This is it. We're sending you your little security blanket. We're sending you your insurance policy. Right now you can get home for $84. Now, if for some reason you don't love it, you can return it. We always have a 30-day money-back guarantee here at HSN. So I want to give you extra peace of mind there as well. But if you don't order right now, this will be the last time we do this configuration at this price. Now, I have sold this with you in the past, Justin, and we did not sell it for $419.99. I actually was looking up one of those previous presentations. It was several months ago. But we're now down to the lowest price that we have ever offered. So there's never been a better time to get this home. So I'd love for you to place your order now. Go to hsn.com. We take all major credit cards. And if you just make this one decision today, you don't have to think about making it. And you know what I hate? It's making a decision under pressure.
Yeah.
And Justin, and when the hurricane is battling, barreling its way towards you, or you're in the middle of a power outage, that's not the time to go out and try to find your backup power source. That is not the time to try to go to the home or the outdoor stores and buy a generator or one of those little extra power sources.
I've got an example I feel like we all can relate to, at least me. I can't say I'm a great people person when I'm trying to shop. Have you ever gone shopping when it's just hustle and bustle for the holidays? Gone to the mall and think you're gonna go shop around? Talk about anxiety. You can't decide what you want. When everything else just feels like it's falling around you, the sky's falling, you wanna just have already been ready. That's what we love about this. Already be ready, be prepared, cross this off your list. When it's food and it's water, you need power. Those are the three things that are essential. Food and water need what? They need power. We need both of those, meaning we definitely need power. We need to prioritize that. Prioritize it today. Make sure you get that checked off your list. What's the best time to get prepared? It's now, and especially when you do have the 5 flex pays and you have the best value that you're gonna find on a River 2 Pro.
Yeah, I like having the best price. And I like saving more than I'm spending. $560, I've kind of already spent that in my mind because I can think of several things that I could buy with the money that you're saving. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you a moment to place your order. We know it's a considered purchase, but this is something you'll be very, very pleased and very, very glad that you did for yourself. And this is a decision that you're making for the safety of your entire family. We'll be right back and we'll talk more about our incredible EcoFlow deal right after this. Don't go away.
For Jay King, every day is a new adventure. He travels the globe to bring you his mind finds and exotic jewelry collection. Discover brilliant gems and exquisite pieces you can only find here at HSN.
Be the first to know when your favorite brands and celebrities will be on HSN. Submit your email for when to watch directly at the bottom of an hsn.com product page. You'll receive email notification every time your favorite brands will be live on HSN.
All right, you're tuning in just at the right time to hear us talk about the EcoFlow River 2, lowest price ever anywhere. And Justin, I've got a little game I want to play with you. Let's say the power goes out. Could I plug in my refrigerator? Yes. I could. If the power goes out, could I plug in my microwave? Can you hear Justin? It doesn't seem like his mic is on. He's yelling across the studio.
Yes.
Okay, there he is. Okay, in concert. All right, Justin, if the power goes out, could I plug in my television?
Yes.
Could I plug in my fan?
Yes.
Could I plug in my light?
Yes.
Could I plug in my phone?
Yes.
Could I plug in all of those things into my EcoFlow?
At the same time.
At the same time.
Your phone, your fan, your TV, you're watching us, you're not watching the football game, you're watching us. You know what? Then we got all the different things that you can cook with. Sarah's
Power up your life, and that's what we love about EcoFlow. So come on in, I want to give you a full tour of what you're getting because I got some very special news today. This was just added due to the unprecedented demand and the incredible need for backup power stations. This is something that everybody was wanting to order, and we have not been able to keep these in stock. So we have our final quantities. We have the lowest price ever on the EcoFlow River. Now, this is the most powerful portable power station we offer that's less than 20 pounds. So it's really easy to take with you. Lightweight, compact, and perfectly silent. It's also the most powerful river power station. There's a lot of different EcoFlows, and some of them are thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're great and they're fabulous and they're powerful, but they also might weigh 50 pounds or 100 pounds, or you're maybe comparing it to those other gas and propane power generators that are out there. This is a power station that will charge up all of your devices, 80% of your household appliances, but it still will fit under the bed. It'll fit under the kitchen cupboard. It'll fit in a closet or a cabinet. And for the first time, we're also including this incredible solar panel. So the solar panel is another great way to charge your EcoFlow. You are charging with the power of the sun to keep that EcoFlow charged. Now you could also just plug this in again as soon as you get to a power source. It charges completely in 70 minutes. You can also charge it via the car. Let's say the power's out in the car, but you have this in the car, you can charge it with the car charger. We're gonna give you the solar panel, and we're also gonna give you the backpack. The travel backpack, so you can take everything with you. It's really a nice backpack. It's a $70 value on its own. Altogether, you'd be spending nearly $1,000. This is your $1,000 emergency kit that you're getting for less than $420. We have sold hundreds and hundreds and millions of EcoFlow here at HSN. This is the lowest price we've offered, and this is the last chance for this configuration. This configuration is not coming back. It does not include the solar panel anywhere else. So even if you're shopping around, you will not find the EcoFlow at this price, and you will certainly not find it with the solar panel included, which is going to save you hundreds of dollars. It's our #1 power brand here at HSN when it comes to portable power. We trust EcoFlow. We trust Justin Hyatt, who's been taking you shopping on television. Has it been over a decade now?
I don't want to think about it.
I think it has.
I had less gray hair, more hair. You know, it's interesting. You know, first time I was ever in the HSN studio, I was 12 years old. So just to give you an idea, I'm 36 now. I've been around TV shopping for a very long time. I used to see Mike walking around, and the thing people used to say was you could hear the coins jingling in his pocket. So I've been around just electronics for a very long time. When you think of just things that are very revolutionary, that's what this is. The EcoFlow has truly revolutionized alternative power, not for buildings or companies, for us the individuals, for the regular consumers, the everyday people who want to figure out ways that we can feel like I have something that I can rely on. I have something that I can feel independent and I can feel comfortable with. It's nice to know that you've got something like this. It's nice to know that you can use it. When that power goes out right now in your life, in your home, what do? We say, you know, how do you get prepared? In this situation, what is your plan? This is your plan, and this has been your plan now for the past 6 years, and for some of you, maybe now for the next 6 years or 10 years. You need a plan. You need to think of one. This is the best way to do it right now. With one touch of a button, I just turned on my light and my fan, and I'm running with something that's only 17.2 pounds. So let's just break that down and just kind of zoom out in a sense, right? Which is, I am using something that can be right here inside my home on the kitchen island that's under 20 pounds that I can lift up and I can just do what? Plug things in. I don't have to maintain it. I can literally leave it, as Sarah said, right by my bed in a closet. I can leave it in the backpack that comes included with all of the cables. But most of the time I'll be using it for fun things. When I'm not, you're gonna be doing this. Okay, we still have our light, we have our fan. We're not in a dark home, we're not in a hot home. Now what about all of the food? The first thing a lot of people think of, which I think is most of us, is, oh my God, what am I gonna do about all the food that I just now filled that refrigerator up with? And we've all done it. We all looked at our receipt after we left the grocery store, or while we're still at the grocery store, as we're checking out, we think, I got 10 things. How did I just spend $100? How did I spend $300? We need to make sure that that food doesn't spoil in that emergency situation. We don't know if we're out of power for a day. What happens if that day turns into 3, 4 days and you can't get to the grocery store, or the grocery store doesn't have power? In fact, you know what happened recently to all the grocery stores? All of their food spoiled because they didn't have enough gas for their generators to keep all of that food cool. So now we've got to wait for those trucks to come and fill that grocery store back up. And then we also have to wait for the trucks to bring gas. You know what happens when that truck is getting ready to bring all of that gas? You get notified by your local radio, which means everybody gets notified. So you're trying to get to that one gas station, which everybody else is trying to do. It'd be nice to think there's a way to avoid avoid that, or at least to have an alternative that you don't feel like that's my only option. This can be your other option. I've got my light, my fan, my refrigerator all plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cook my food. Now, I'm not just cooking food. Again, larger lens. Now what I'm doing is I'm warming myself up from inside. Now I've got all of my food staying cool, but how do I warm myself up when it's 30 below outside and now all of a sudden my heater's not working, my fireplace isn't working? Now I can have my heating blanket and now I can cook hot food and I've got this induction burner. All these different things I want you to consider when we're not doing all of this inside. Now consider doing it outside, doing it for all of the fun things. This is not a break glass in case of an emergency investment, and I emphasize the word investment because that's what this is. You're investing in the next 10 years of your life having power. What's happened in the past 10 days, 10 months, 10 years. We don't know what tomorrow brings, let alone the next 10 years. Have something that does eliminate that anxiety, that feeling of just not having somebody there by your side. Now you can feel like you do with EcoFlow.
Yeah, and you know, you brought up such a great point. It's not just the fact that there's a power outage or a hurricane or forest fires or floods or rolling blackouts. That in itself is really, again, very stressful. It can be very frustrating and uncertain times. But when you start to figure out, well, wait a minute, what am I going to do when the power goes out? How much juice do I have left on my cell phone? How am I going to cook the food that's in the refrigerator? How am I going to communicate with my family? How are we going to make a plan? How am I going to feed the baby the breast milk that's kept in the refrigerator? How is my dad or my grandfather going to run a CPAP machine? How is my mom going to keep her medications refrigerated? How are we going to get through just the very simple things that we do every single day because they all need power? How are we going to watch TV? How are we going to hear about the weather? How are we going to know what's happening in our neighborhood if we don't have power? It's just the most basic need in human life today. We are relying on so many electronics, and without power, we're literally left out in the cold. You can plug in an emergency blanket, and having a heated blanket, having your cell phone, that gives you peace of mind. That gives you a chance to close your eyes and rest wonderfully at night saying, hey, if the worst thing happens, if we lose power, okay, I've got the EcoFlow. It is just already gonna give you that wonderful sense like, we got this, we can get through this. The EcoFlow, you can recharge this over and over and over again. So even if you drain it over the first few days or first few weeks that you're out of power, you simply get yourself to a power source, you plug it in, you can take it back home again. So you're never left out in the cold. You also are getting the solar panel. So when you do run out of power, if you can't get to an electrical outlet or a friend's house, you can also charge it in your car, but you could also harness the powerful rays of the sun. And with a solar panel, you always have a power source that's never ending. The sun is out, it's charging your EcoFlow, and we're giving you this great travel backpack, which is really cool. It's so industrial. It's a really slick, modern, and beautifully custom designed bag. It's designed for the EcoFlow. You're getting all of this. You're getting nearly $1,000 value. If you're to purchase all of these separately, right now today, you're saving more than you're spending. It's the final chances for this incredible configuration. We're down to the final quantities. It's the last day that we have everything on 5 interest-free flexible payments. So if you like to just space out your payments interest-free over the next 5 months, don't worry, we got you, because it's only, what, $84 a month? Oh, and we have financing. I almost forgot to mention that. Wow, is that $35 a month? VIP financing, and you can get VIP financing when you have the HSN credit card. If you don't have the HSN credit card, well, we'll get you signed up and you can take $25 off your very first purchase. So there's a lot of reasons to get this particular EcoFlow. One is that this is the lowest price that we have ever done. We have never, ever done this incredible river at this price with the solar panel and the travel case. We also have the lowest price anywhere. So shop around. This is a very big national brand. This is not only our leader out there, but it's a leader at many of the other retailers. Just the EcoFlow on its own is going to be this price or more. And only here at HSN do we include the solar panels and the carrying case. It's also the most powerful of the river power stations. There's a lot of great reasons to place your order right now. I just don't want you to miss out. It's our final presentation, our only presentation on the day. I have been told it's the last call on this configuration. Once these are gone, these are not coming back. So you can place your order online, go to hsn.com, you can scan that QR code. Should we do it on free shipping too? Oh, let's do it on free shipping. So you don't have to worry about a single extra penny. And what I love, speaking of pennies, Justin, there is not one other purchase you need to make going forward. Even if you have the best generator your money can buy, what are you putting in that baby? You're putting in gallons and gallons of gas or propane.
Consistently having to use money to generate power when you're using your generator, you're gonna have to go get more gas. You think, well, store gas. Well, we actually found out even in California, you're not allowed to store gasoline, obviously for the reasons that we've seen recently. In fact, turning off the power in so many of those different areas to just kind of get ahead of making sure those power lines don't cause more fires. And this isn't just this year, we've seen it in the years past. All these different things, there are sequences of things that happen that we don't think will happen, but they do. I'll give you an example. Well, rainy season here in Florida, my chimney, the cap got knocked off. It was pouring rain down my chimney. I called the landlord, they capped it off, not in the way that I thought that they would. Well, now I just recently, it's cold out here, all the different animals tried to get into my attic. They tore up the whole entire ducts in my attic, okay? I'm trying to use my central heat. I'm wondering, why is it so cold in the house? Well, it's because they tore up all of the ducts. Well, I thought, well, that's okay. I'll use my fireplace. I go to use my fireplace. I think you know where this is going. Well, that smoke didn't go up the chimney. It all came into the house. So now I can't use my fireplace and I can't use my central heat. All of these different things that happened, whether it was through months of time or weeks of time or days of time, there's things that happen. So how do I stay warm? It was 50 degrees in the house, and it was only 45 degrees outside. I can't imagine if it's 30 below, what turns into from an inconvenience to all of a sudden a scary situation happens like that. We have to be ready. We have to be prepared. Often we think about what, Sarah, you were just saying, a gas or propane generator, because in most of our minds, this has only been the only option that we have. And for some of us, it's never been an option. One, it's too big, it's too heavy, it's too intimidating looking. And I can tell you, even with wheels, okay, this thing is heavy. This is well over 100 pounds. You know how hard it was for me to even get this here into the studio? I had to use my 1,000-pound lift gate on the back of my truck to lift it up high enough to try and put it into the back of my other car to bring it here, which is why, you know where it stays? Here. Do you know why it stays here? Because it doesn't work anymore. Do you know why it doesn't work anymore? Because it didn't work when I tried to use it. I wanted to use it for my larger power stations. Pull crank wouldn't work. And by the way, in these new generators, they say, well, we've got the push button now. Well, yeah, it's got the push button, except that this battery was dead. And so you know what ended up happening to this? We had 15 feet of water storm surge right in front of the house. This was under 5 feet of water. Now it's just a prop right here in the studio because it's useless. This was inside, where I was, where it was safe, instead of being outside in the storm. And I do want you to consider that. If it's 30 below, what does that mean? I'm going to have to go outside all the time to go ahead and refuel it? What happens if it's pouring raining, if it's flooding outside? Where am I going to put my generator? Now I've got something that can stay right there in the comfort of my home, where it's warm, where it's cool, where it's dry. And now back to what you were saying, Sarah, I don't have to worry about the only way to refuel it is paying more and more money. Your son, and not your son, our son, is free. Still free, hopefully, right? Now we can use the power of the sun for free, independently, day after day to recharge our power station. Tomorrow, I take this outside with 220 watts of solar. In 3.5 hours, I'll be able to have this all the way up to 100%. The next day, I do the same thing. Now, here's the other great thing about picking up the bundle, which of course most of, I was thinking most of you, of course all of you at this point are, because we're sold out of the standalone. But with the solar panel, what you can do now is also convert this into what we call a solar generator. Imagine this being at 100%. You take your solar panel outside, you're plugging your phones in. Imagine now when your phone is plugged in or a fan's plugged in outside and you've got your solar panel plugged into your power station, the sun passing through its power, converting into electricity, is passing through the power station and powering up all those things without depleting the power on our power station. So many different ways to use it. So even when we show you the list of times and we say it'll run a refrigerator for X amount of time, That's not even considering using the solar panel in conjunction with the power station too.
Well, here's what's happening. Everybody's now placing their order. We know this happens toward the end of every EcoFlow presentation. I know it takes a little time to kind of understand what this can do for you, but I think once you understand what you're getting at this incredible value, you're placing your order and you can finally cross this off your list. I know there are many of you, every time there's a hurricane, a tornado, a forest fire, a flood, a power outage, whether it's rolling blackouts or maybe it's just a power line that's down, your biggest fear during a power outage is, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to keep my house warm? How am I going to communicate with friends and family? You have a built-in security blanket when you have EcoFlow. Then everything else feels really easy. Oh, well, we can get through that. Is it going to be a couple hours? No problem. Is it a couple days? That's an inconvenience, but we have EcoFlow. What if it goes on for weeks? Some of you went without power for weeks after recent hurricanes and floods. Obviously, that's not going to be a great situation, but you can actually live in your home or wherever you are. If you're in your RV, if you're on the move, you can get through those difficult times when you have power, because power is the most important thing that we need, whether it's to run a CPAP machine, whether it's to keep the baby bottles in the refrigerator, whether it's to save all the food that you just bought at the grocery store. If all you do is use this once to save all the food you have in a deep freezer or a refrigerator, it's practically paid for itself. You can't go to the grocery store and fill your fridge for more than, less than $200. What you're getting here today is over 50% off retail. This is about $1,000 at retail when you consider the solar panel, the EcoFlow, and this really cool travel backpack. But the fact that you're getting all of it at $560 off, no one has this deal. We are so pleased that we're doing such incredible partnerships with major brands. You saw our Bissell Today special, best price anywhere. It's the same with EcoFlow. We go directly to EcoFlow and we say, what can you do for our dedicated fans, our customers who watch HSN every single day? I know that it's hard to find EcoFlow when you go out there at retail. They sell out very quickly. Don't try to buy something like this when you know that there is an increased demand. There's an unprecedented need. There's an overwhelming demand for these types of devices in these unprecedented times. This is your chance to say, you know what, I'm going to do this now, and I can cross this off my list. I don't have to think about this next week. I don't have to think about this next month. I don't have to think about this in the winter, the spring, the summer, or the fall, because every season brings its own incredible, challenging moments. This is your time to get this, and this is the final quantities of this configuration. So this is not coming back. Once this sells out, and we've already sold hundreds and hundreds today, once this sells out, this is not coming back. Today we have 5 flex pay on everything. So that is another great reason to say, you know what, I really like the 5 flexible payments. You don't have to wait 5 months to receive it. Once you make your first payment, we ship it to you right away, and then you've got this. And then you have the next 5 months to pay that off. And for any reason you don't love it, you can always return it. We're not going anywhere. And that's something else to consider. Are you buying from a retailer that you trust? HSN has been around for more than 45 years, so we're here to give you all the information you need to make a great decision. I've been with you for 20 years. I will never steer you wrong. This is a wonderful choice. This is an intelligent choice. This is a very savvy purchase, and you're going to be so glad looking back. You'll say, I'm so glad I got that EcoFlow when I did, because I got the best price and I got the best configuration. Justin, I know you've been on television for more than a decade presenting EcoFlow. It's a great brand. It's one that is much in demand out there, and no one is doing the offer that we have today.
No, and I think that just speaks volumes to just the relationship that we have with EcoFlow. We launched EcoFlow here at HSN 6 years ago. But it's also, as Sarah, you just said, can you find in other retail spaces? Of course, but you're not going to find this value. You will not find this configuration. You know you're going to get it in way less time than if you went to find it somewhere else. And of course, I think the fact that when it comes to just the overall brand and reputation, this is about having the #1 brand here at HSN when it comes to power, and it's EcoFlow. And you know who the #1 power station and solar generator brand is in the United States? EcoFlow. We're no longer only in the United States. Now we're actually global. We're in over 111 different countries. There are power issues, not just here in the United States, across the world, and we recognize that. We also recognize that we're all very different, but yet very similar. We're all different in the things that we need, but all the different ways that we may be different, we're all very similar in the sense that we all still need power. And that's what we love about being able to have EcoFlow here, is that it's not just one size fits all. What we love about the River 2 Pro is that this is that perfect size. It is that perfect medium size right there. That's what we call the Goldilocks. We hear it a lot, where it's not too big, it's not too small. At 17.2 pounds, this is the most powerful that we have in the River 2 line. And Sarah, I see that you're holding it, because that's one of the nice things, is that when we emphasize portability and power, it's nice to know that, you know what, I can manage this. This isn't something that I'm gonna feel like I have to call somebody for help. I know that I can be able to use it, and you will use it. In fact, you use it every single day, like we're using right here, whether it's for your CPAP machine or not. And Sarah, I can be using this every day. Even if in the middle of the night I lose power, it's what we call an EPS. EPS stands for emergency power source. So if I've got my EcoFlow plugged into the wall, and I've got my air conditioning unit plugged into it and the CPAP machine plugged into it, in about 30 milliseconds, this will automatically switch over and continue to power everything I've got plugged in. So whether it's for the portable aspect or for the reliability aspect, we're getting pure reputation, #1 brand, and we love emphasizing the portability, which I know you're showing right now.
It's very, very popular. I would not hesitate. Now, I want to speak to all of you who maybe live alone, and you don't want to rely on someone else to be your savior. You can't always get a hold of your son, your daughter, your aunt, your uncle, your neighbor, your friend. This is something I can carry around. It weighs less than 20 pounds, okay? And I'm not exactly known for my muscle around here. So that is something that I can carry and I can take with me from room to room. Maybe I put it in the kitchen when the power first goes out, but maybe I take it into the bedroom so I can plug in my electric blanket and my phone. So wherever I go, I am bringing the power with me. We love that. I'm gonna go over here and show you that generator again, because here's what I'm not gonna do. Maybe if you're a single person and you live alone, you probably don't want the hassle of a generator. Or even if you have a family, maybe you don't want the danger